Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video in which I'll be reading some of my favorite quotes from some of my favorite books and hopefully convincing you to read them if you haven't already. Now, this video is going to be no spoilers, vibes only type of video, so it will just give you the idea of like what style the book is written in and like what atmosphere prevails in this book. So no spoilers. I don't know if you guys do that, but very often when I'm like really not sure which book I want to read, I start just looking up quotes from these books, and when I come across a book that has some really captivating quotes or very relatable quotes, then I just go and pick it up. Of course, it's a bit risky because you might end up accidentally spoiling the book for yourself, so be careful if you go and do that. I divided these books into genres, and the first genre is probably my favorite genre in general, which is fantasy. And the first book, or maybe I should say two books, because I will be talking about a duology. It's the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo, which is literally my favorite book series of all time. I could talk about this book forever, but instead of telling you what this book is about, I'll just let the quotes speak for themselves. Okay, first quote, which is probably my favorite quote of all time that I think about constantly. I would have come for you, and if I couldn't walk, I'd crawl to you, and no matter how broken we were, we'd fight our way out together, knives drawn, pistols blazing, because that's what we do. We never stop fighting. I mean, this quote just about sums up this entire trilogy. It's about these six characters that come together to do a heist, and they really end up becoming like family to each other, and they literally would do everything to protect one another. And I think that quote says a lot. I mean, it is also a bit romantic because it is a quote between two characters that kind of have feelings for each other. So, but I guess romantic in a sense for Cass Brecker. Like, I don't imagine him being more romantic than that. So the second quote also like just perfectly portrays what this book is about. Crows remember human faces. They remember the people who feed them, who are kind to them, and the people who wrong them too. They don't forget. They tell each other who to look after and who to watch out for. And if you take into consideration that the actual group in this book, they call themselves the Crows, I feel like it's very fitting. Okay, the next quote, I think it belongs to like the funny quotes. This book is actually very funny, like despite the high stakes and the constant action, like so many lines made me laugh out loud. And this line is not only funny but also just really shows you how chaotic this book is and how chaotic this group of people is. Don't worry, Dad. People point guns at each other all the time in Ketterdam. It's basically a handshake. Okay, and just two more quotes. Please bear with me. I don't think other books will have that many quotes. Just this book is so special to me that it's really hard for me to just choose only a few quotes. There is this phrase that our group always repeats before, they go and do something dangerous, and that's phrases, no mourners, no funerals. This is like literally iconic. It's repeated so many times throughout the series. This is one of the quotes that has this phrase in it. Why do you guys say that anyway? No mourners, no funerals. Why not just say good luck or be safe? We like to keep our expectations low. Okay, and now the last one. Many boys will bring you flowers, but someday you'll meet a boy who will learn your favorite flower, your favorite song, your favorite sweet. And even if he's too poor to give you any of them, it won't matter because he will have taken the time to know you as no one else does. Only that boy earns your heart. Let's get into the second book in the fantasy section. This book also had so many beautiful quotes. It's actually written in a very like lyrical way. The first quote that every bookish person will relate to, and it's just, I feel like it's the quote of my entire life, okay? Books, she has found, are a way to live 1,000 lives, or to find strength in a very long one. This quote is very short, but it's like so comforting. It's so comforting that I literally want to live inside of this sentence. And it is the kind of day designed for wood fires and mugs of tea and well-loved books. Okay, now the next quote is just for people that really struggle with finding their calling. And that kind of includes me. So it was just so permanent. Choosing a class became choosing a discipline, and choosing a discipline became choosing a career. Choosing a career became choosing a life. And how was anyone supposed to do that when you only had one? It's something I always think about. There's so many things that I would want to do and pick up, but I'm like, I only have one life. I cannot do all of these things. So how am I supposed to choose? It's just such a human experience. And the next quote is a little bit connected to that. So it says, "He'd blinked, and somehow years had gone by, and everyone else had carved their trenches, paved their paths, and he was still standing in a field, uncertain where to dig." If you also struggle with something like that, I think you might want to pick up this book because you will relate to Henry a lot. And then this quote is like the core of the whole book. What is a person if not the marks they leave behind? And now the last one that literally just put me in a existential crisis, I think. That time always ends a second before you're ready. That life is the minutes you want minus one. This quote, while it's very true, it's also a bit depressing if you think about it. Okay, Divine Rivals. Now this one will have a lot of love quotes. It's a story about love, about the hardships of going through war. But yeah, there's a lot of really beautiful quotes between two main characters about love and the relationship, and I want to read some of them to you. It's a really beautifully written, really poignant and emotional love story. "Iris," said Roman, "you are worthy of love. You are worthy to feel joy right now, even in the darkness. Just in case you're wondering, I'm not going anywhere, unless you tell me to leave. And even then, we might need to negotiate." If you have not read this and you like romanticies, definitely go read Divine Rivals because it's such a good book. Let's look at some more quotes. "It takes courage to let down your armor, to welcome people to see you as you are. Sometimes I feel the same as you. I can't risk having people behold me as I truly am. But there's also a small voice in the back of my mind, a voice that tells me you will miss so much by being so guarded." And the last one that I love, "I don't think you realize how strong you are, because sometimes strength isn't swords and steel and fire as we are so often made to believe. Sometimes it's found in quiet, gentle places." The next book is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and this book is really good for people that kind of feel a bit lonely. They kind of struggle with finding their own people. If you're someone that just feels like you don't belong anywhere, this book is really good for you because we've got this character who, feels very similar way, but she will actually end up finding her own people who really love her and care about her. So it's beautiful and also full of really thought-provoking and really relatable quotes. So let's see. Over the years, Mika had embraced all the things that made her different and had discovered that she liked herself very much. But what was that worth without human connection? How was it possible to live, truly live, without the companionship of other people, without a family formed in any of the thousands of ways families could be formed? It's not always enough to go looking for the place we belong. Sometimes we need to make that place. It's a leap of faith to love people and let yourself be loved. It's closing your eyes, stepping off a ledge into nothing, and trusting that you'll fly rather than fall. I can't step off the ledge for you. It's something only you can do. Oh my god, just reading these quotes makes me want to reread this book. It's just such a wholesome book. Also, it's very cute and cozy, so if you are into that kind of thing and you find these quotes relatable, definitely give it a chance. Okay, next we've got The Ballad of Never After. I was really contemplating if I should put this one here, but you know what? I love this book. Some people might find these quotes cringy. I don't know. I don't care. I love these quotes. There's like a lot of flirting, a lot of like drama, and I just love this book. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. But it is many people's favorite book in this trilogy, including me. It's really, really good. So let's read some of the quotes. In the morning, you can forget it. You can go back to pretending you don't like me, and I can pretend that I don't care. But for tonight, let me pretend you're mine. Okay, reading it out loud makes me feel awkward, but it is such a good quote, and I love Jax so much. Then we've got this this one that just shows you what person Jax is. So, sarcastic, unhinged, a bit chaotic. Where were you? She asked. I was killing innocent maidens and kicking puppies. Jax, that's not funny. It also has some very beautiful quotes like this one. Happy endings can be caught, but they are difficult to hold on to. They are dreams that want to escape the night. They are treasure with wings. They are wild, feral, reckless things that need to be constantly chased, or they will certainly run away. Okay, next we go to romance books. And now, not all of these quotes necessarily are romantic. Some of them are, but some of them are just like very relatable. Obviously, this is like mainly contemporary romance. So obviously a lot of these books talk about these everyday issues that just so many people deal with. So you probably will be able to relate to a lot of these quotes, and some of them are romantic and cute because these are romance books after all. But the first book that I want to show you a few quotes from is Yours Truly. I actually ended it very recently, and one of the characters there struggles with social anxiety, and like it was just depicted in such a realistic way because I do struggle with social anxiety myself. I'm just really grateful to the author Abby Jimenez for representing all the anxious people that overthink every little detail of their lives. So some of the quotes were really relatable, but in general it's a very beautiful love story, and this book was honestly amazing. So the first quote, I had to remember that not everyone overthought everything the way I did. Wouldn't it be amazing to live like that? To not carry that burden around with you? To not feel constantly overwhelmed and overstimulated and second guessing every little thing? So that's what I was talking about. Our character just deals with a lot of anxiety and constantly overthinks every little detail, every little interaction. So if you're someone that's anxious, I feel like you will be able to relate a lot to his character. So then we've got a more like beautiful and really heartwarming quote. We're all a little broken, Brianna. We are a mosaic. We're made up of all those we've met and all the things we've been through. There are parts of us that are colorful and dark and jagged and beautiful. And I love every piece of you, even the ones you wish didn't exist. This is true love. That's all I have to say. And this one, which is very thought-provoking, I guess. Have you ever heard the saying that if you're with someone who doesn't speak your language, you'll spend a lifetime having to translate your soul? Okay, next book is Funny Story by Emily Henry, another amazing book with some great quotes. It's a library, Daphne. If you can't be a human here, where can you? I feel like that's true. I feel like in general, people who read a lot and people who maybe also write a lot just are a lot more compassionate. So again, if you can't be a human in the library, where can you? Trust people's actions, not their words. Don't love anyone who isn't ready to love you back. Let go of the people who don't hold on to you. Don't wait on anyone who's in no rush to get to you. And then the romantic quote that really just lives in my head rent-free. And I know I'm not who you pictured yourself with, but I think I could be eventually, if you let me. So don't go, because I don't want you to. because you're my best friend and I'm in love with you. This just hits me right in the feelings. So many decisions I made were based on the fear of what could go wrong, instead of my hopes for what might go right. You can't force a person to show up, but you can learn a lesson when they don't. I mean, I feel like if you pick up an Emily Henry book, you will just be met with so much good advice. Okay, and the last romance book on my list is The 7-Year Slip. This one is a little different because it's magical realism. So, it has like a little magic in it. But other than that, it is still a beautiful romance. I loved how a book, a story, a set of words in a sentence organized in the exact right order made you miss places you've never visited and people you've never met. Nothing lasts forever. Not the good things, not the bad. So just find what makes you happy and do it for as long as you can. Okay, and the last one. You kiss like you dance. Terribly? Like someone waiting to be asked. You can just dance, Lemon. You can take the lead. Okay, and the last two books are basically dark academia books. So these books usually contain a lot of wisdom and a lot of like smart and thought-provoking quotes. I've only got 2 books in this category, but both of them are really good and full of amazing quotes. So the first book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I am nothing in my soul if not obsessive. Forgive me for all the things I did, but mostly for the ones that I did not. Beauty is terror. Whatever we call beautiful, we quiver before it. There's nothing wrong with the love of beauty, but beauty, unless she's wed to something more meaningful, is always superficial. I mean, these quotes are so good, just like the entire book. So I feel like you should just read the book and see for yourself. And the last book it's a dark academia, but it's also fantasy. So I was not sure which category to put it into, but I put it in here. The book is called A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. It is like a bit spooky and there's a tiny little bit of romance in it as well. So let's see the quotes. How terrible to navigate the world without a story to comfort you. True. There was an intimacy to all violence, she supposed. The better you knew someone, the more terribly you could hurt them. Again, true. You don't have to take up a sword. Survival is bravery too. It's just a reminder that even if you're only surviving right now, that is enough. That is bravery as well. Okay, so that was the last book and the last quote of this video. Let me know if any of these quotes resonated with you or if any of them convinced you to pick up these books. I really hope that they did. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!